This is Big Bob with my 2 bobs worth, and you don't get much for 2 bob these days. The Power were never a realistic chance from midway through the second quarter, despite their track record versus the Swans, who were able to dispense with them in a professional display that sets them up in the box seat without too many bruises for the big GF versus the Lions. Kenny has by now had the back me or sack me conversation with his superiors, and there may be legal implications if I say any more. However, apropos and by the by, aren't the jelly bean counters at Virgin and Qantas and Jetstar drooling over the whopping injection of do-re-mi into the coffers and pay packets as they jack up the prices to cash in on the out-of-town windfall that this clash represents? And didn't the Lions come home with a wet sail over the Cats, who wilted under their irresistible onslaught of ferocious football? Fierce is the word that springs to mind. The whips were cracking and they jumped out of the cage with a never-say-die attitude that must be causing considerable consternation considering the circumstances. However, the Swans must go in as favourites, and what a game we are all anticipating in expectation with bated breath to eventuate on the big day. One could hark back nostalgically and brand it as South Melbourne Fitzroy Stoush and reminisce about your Bobby Skiltons and your Kevin Murrays of days gone by, but that will cut no ice with the new age players donning the red and white and the maroon and gold on the weekend, who are clueless about the heritage of their respective clubs, and just as well they might be. Unlike Port, who must carry the albatross on their shoulders of Port Magpies' SANFL enviable and remarkable record dating back to the 50s and 60s, and that is etched so indelibly on the mindsets of those with enough runs under their belt and miles on the clock to remember the days of your Hannafords and your Beaufoys, your Motleys, your Potters and your Ableys. That having been said, they were nowhere to be seen in the sandful this year, taking out the wooden spoon. And on the other hand, and by the same token, what a win by the Bays on Sunday. The bonny wee Tigers, the pride of them all, reigning over the Redlegs parade as Norwood fans looked on in horror as their hitherto well-nigh perfect season went down the gurgler. A sweet win for the fast-finishing boys from Brighton Road over a highly fancied and classy outfit who couldn't get the job done in the scenario as it panned out on the day, much to the delight of the legion of fans from the seaside suburb. And don't they know how to party? And if it hadn't been for my carnival knee playing up, I would have been down there too, dancing over the creek with the rest of them. The straight-kicking Mr. McBean coinciding with the great Super Carey and joining the exclusive ranks of 3 premiership-winning number 5s for the Bays. As we all struggle to put a roof over our houses, the MCG will be the scene of pop idol Katie Hear Me Roar Perry as she belts out a few numbers before the big one. Don't know much about her, but I'm told she's more dusty than Barbara, as in Springfield and Streisand Nexus, if you follow the meaning of my drift, so to speak. Let's hope she gives it a better shake of the burnt stick than that Meatloaf joker did. And speaking of Dusty, will the elusive toppermost exponent of the Don't Argue, and I speak here of course of the one and only Slim Dusty Martin, will he venture north and join his ex-coat at the Suns next year? I for one doubt it, and trust it won't happen for the good of the game and the well-being of society in general, and pundits close to the source will verify this. Far be it from me to suggest this, but will a furor erupt over the once again non-controversial Brownlow result? A result that failed to teeter on a knife edge until the death knock, and there was no confusion as regards the eventual winner, who came as no surprise to close watchers of the game who know an umpire's pet when they see one. Not to take anything away from the dynamic Cripps, who deserves the accolades of one and all, though not so much the number of free kicks he picks up along the way. This win should not be met with a chorus of criticism, nor prove to be the cause for further embarrassment and reputational damage to the AFL bigwigs and the umpiring fraternity in general. In the words of that Canadian, something's lost but something's gained in living every day. I'll leave you with that thought and remind you that this has been Big Bob with my 2 bobs worth, and you know the rest. Thank you, mother, for broccoli. Sayonara.